Okay, and we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Toolbelt, episode 306. I'm your host, Ty Cobb Backer, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition.
GC Backer. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, solar. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, solar. GC Backer.
Is your lead flow down? Whether you're a company owner, office staff, salesperson, or installer, you're a roofing rock star. We help you get more leads with custom SEO, Google Ads, and a pro website.
Welcome to Behind the Toolbelt, where the stories are bold, the conversations are real, and the insights come to you live, raw, and uncut. Every week, host Ty Cobb Backer sits down to bring you the stories, the struggles, the lessons learned, and the wins. No filters, no scripts, just the truth. Please welcome your host of Behind the Toolbelt, Ty Cobb Backer.
Hey, welcome back on this wonderful Wednesday edition of Beyond the Toolbelt, episode 306. As we're wrapping up, we're considering our year's season. So we're wrapping up our fifth season here. We're getting ready to, we're approaching our sixth season of Beyond the Toolbelt. And we thought, why not reach out to Eric? Because Eric has always been one of our favorite guests on the show here. And maybe we can do a little bit of reflection over the years, because Eric, you were probably one of the first people to come on the show. You and Paul, I think, back a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that you're going into season 6 at episode fucking 800, and I'm on season 7 of my show, and I'm at like episode 170.
We move slow. We move.
Yeah, you move really fast. Like, you kick ass and fucking you get them in, like you get them going. Like, I'm letting them breathe now a little bit. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And the more we do this too, the more we realize about so many different things. There's so many different things that are going on, and updates that you got to juggle, whether it's with StreamYard or Facebook or whatever. And we've learned so much. And I've been doing a lot of these by myself on just my thoughts. I'll have a thought in the middle of the night. I'll jot things down, and then it'll be today's episode of Behind the Toolbelt. And we've been getting a lot of traction that way too. And believe it or not, I didn't think I'd be able to run my mouth by myself for an hour. And
if you would have asked me, I would have told you could.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I don't know where that limiting belief came from, but yeah.
But my because I'm an introvert, so I of course I negative talk to myself all the time.
But not here, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, right? Like, I'm an introvert by nature, but you put me on here and it's like, let's fucking go, right?
Yeah,
like, so
sure.
no, it changes like a flip switch.
Yeah.
A switch flips.
I think when we have to, when we have to suit up and show up, we're there. We're okay. Let's do this. We know we got to do this, and we're entertainers. We're people pleasers. We're educators. Leaders. And when things get tough, the tough get going kind of concept. I think where it's like, I don't have to do a podcast every week, but I think I do it because it is still very uncomfortable for me. And it's like we were gonna not do one time. We were driving back from Greenville, South Carolina, and I was torturing myself going back and forth. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And it was like almost like the situation where I wasn't going to go to Cayman with you. And I felt like there's no way we're not going to not do this, because then, not that I would be quitting. And we've been on such a run here for almost 6 years weekly. There has not been a week that we missed. And, I was trying to examine, I was making an excuse. I was like, well, it's just an ego and pride thing that you got to do this every week, and like, I was just going back and forth, but it's more like there are actual people that like follow this every week. Like they're waiting. So this has become way more than how I feel today. If I want,
Isn't that weird
yeah,
to
yeah,
think of?
yeah, right, yeah, totally.
Because I'll
So
have people call me and say the same thing. They're like, "We do. When's the next episode coming out?" I'm like, "Who fucking like you can't
yeah,
give a shit? Like, why
right.
do you care?"
Seriously,
Yeah.
and I was getting text messages because you're late. You know, where you at? What's going on? It's like, dude, we're doing it, and we were driving. We did it live while I was driving. Vic hooked up a what the hell is that cam called? The GoPro cam on the dash there, and
Hmm.
there I'm dribbling my lip once again. I pulled through, you know, to be
Yeah.
able to run my mouth for a good 40 minutes as I'm driving. And I'll be honest with you, it was a good one. We got a lot of people were like, yeah, I can really relate to that, because all I simply did was talk about like how the ebbs and flows of my week. Like, you know, it started out great and it went to shit, and what I did to kind of turn it around, what I learned from it. And here we are, we're heading back home, and people can relate to that. To that authenticity of, you know, it's not scripted. It's where I'm just at. And a lot of my team watches it just to see where I'm at. You know, like, where's Ty's head at this week? You know, because what is he going to get us into, or what is he going to get us involved in? And it's actually become like a tool, you know, for our team to watch too, because we talk a lot about, you know, leadership, and I'll talk a lot about like what I'm reading, who I'm studying today and this week, or what I discovered about myself and what I've done to change some things, and old habits that I've tried to break and filter in, you know, good habits and things like that. And so people are getting something out of it.
So speaking on that,
Yeah.
you know, just talking about like the weird episodes or posts or whatever that like get traction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that post that I made when I was in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Mm-hmm.
you, like, when I was fucking like I lost my shit on the fucking, like I didn't actually lose my shit on them, but like I about did, whatever, right? It was a long post,
Mm-hmm.
but I just pulled it up because I've never gotten this many views on a post in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, I don't know, 3 days later, I looked at it, it was at like 11,000
Wow.
views, right? And I was like, God damn, right? And I had a few people that were like cunty in it, like they were kind of shitty. And I'm like, I made this whole thing that said like I was an asshole, and like I realized it, and like I need to adjust and I need to work on myself, and like we all need to do that, right? Like that was the premise of the post, right? And of course, there's still people that are like, "You're a piece of shit." And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're a fucking piece of shit. I hope you die." You know, that's your first reaction, right? Like I want to fucking choke those people. But so literally 2 days ago, I looked at it again, and it was at 35,000.
Oh my God.
Right. And so I'm like, geez, like what the fuck? I just opened it up because you were talking about it. Now you can't see it. 86,000.
Wow. And that's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I've never had anything go like that. But to your point,
Mm-hmm.
the reason that I say it is because like it was all about screwing up, right? It was all about like making a mistake, identifying the mistake, trying to fix a mistake, right? But of course, according to people, I didn't fix it well enough because I didn't march my happy ass back up to the Amex club and fucking say I'm sorry to the bitch that fucking wouldn't let me in 3 hours before my flight. But anyway, like, but it's just interesting that like those are the things that people will connect with and relate to, right? Because people don't connect on your wins, right? They don't care about like, look how much money I made, or look, you know what I mean? Look at what I did, or how awesome I am. They connect on shit of like, oh, he fucks up too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Did your screen just go yellow?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, it's just me. All
Maybe
right.
I was looking at you. It could have.
Oh no, my whole screen just went yellow. But anyway, go ahead. So yeah, anyway, I just thought that was crazy. 86,000. Fuck.
A few episodes ago, we were talking about like social reputation and personal brand. And I think getting out there and being vulnerable, like the Fearless 44 is a good come out of my shell opportunity for people to get to really see. And especially when I brought Jana up, because Jana is the most authentic person that I know. I mean, she'll get on. She has no idea what the hell she's going to talk about. She doesn't think about it. She usually has one of her grandbabies with her, and they are the ones talking. about like, oh yeah, we went to the zoo today. And, you know, and people like love it. Like they hate it when it's over. And like they reach out to her and ask her, like, when are you guys going to do another Fearless 44? It's like that real TV. I don't know what it is, but like that is more important than us as business owners or even salespeople within an organization to put themselves out there as genuinely as they possibly can, showing their family, like your Sundays that you have with Tegan, right? Like that's what people want to see. Those are probably some of your most engaged posts that you have.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. They used to be,
Okay.
but not anymore. I get the same engagement on almost every single one of those now because
Mhm.
it's the same people that see. It seems like it's the same people that see them that enjoy it.
That's
It's not
viewer
bad.
fatigue. No, it's viewer fatigue. So now you need to come up.
Yes,
Like if you're trying to promote your personal self, or not even like, I hate to even put it that way, like you're trying to
I
promote,
know what you mean, though. Yeah.
you got to come up with something different,
Yep.
you know. And because what happens is it's no different than a billboard. Our billboards, we switch the color of our billboards because you just don't even, you drive by it, you don't even see it anymore. It's called a pattern interrupt.
Yep.
You know, so sometimes you got to switch up whatever it is that you've been doing for a while, but it's that real life, authentic stuff. You with your family talking about, you know, I didn't have a win today. I behaved very poorly. So many people can connect to that, you know, and the people that act like they can't, they do, but what they've already envied you for whatever reason. And they're just like, aha, he is a piece of shit. I told you. He's telling everybody he's a piece of shit. I told you, you know, come on, right? Like, you've never screwed up. You've never pulled out in front of somebody before. And those are the people that probably annoy the shit out of me the most. I've gotten better. I'm not perfect about this, but like, if I see someone that pulled out in front of me, I kind of just give them a wave. Like I just did that an hour ago to somebody. Sorry. You're good. Plenty of space, plenty of room. Just hurry up, get out of the way. But I think it's not even forgiveness. It's just empathy. You know, like let's chill out on everybody. Nobody's perfect, right? But I think other people want to know that other people aren't perfect too. And I think that's what really resonates with people, because you were like, you know, I really screwed up today. I lost my shit. I knew I shouldn't. And it's like, as we get older and mature, we know it more, at least, and I'm pretty sure you do. I identify it a lot quicker. Like halfway through my rant, I'm like,
But we only do because we put work in to be able to identify it, right? Because there's still so many people out there. Like, it doesn't just come with age, because like some people become fucking shittier with
Word.
age.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, but if you don't actually put the work in, which I know that like you and I have both done work to be able to try and become better. Cause like the whole thing with empathy too is something that I talk about a lot, right?
Mhm.
But it is a learned skill, and it's not something that comes naturally to most people, but if you can, if it doesn't happen immediately, right? Like it, for me, it's like that guy cuts me off in your example. And my first thought is, you son of a bitch, I am going to floor my fucking 6'2" into the back of your goddamn little beaner fucking car.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, no, don't do that. That's wrong. You're being an asshole. But now I catch it,
Mhm.
right? Where 10 years ago, I would have just kept going with it for an hour, and I would have let it ruin my goddamn day too.
Yes. And
Right.
everybody else's that you
And
can.
everybody else's
Yeah.
around me, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's the difference today, because we've put in the work. We're not fucking perfect, but like we're actually trying to get better. And I think that's the thing. But then when you get the comments of, why didn't you do this? It's like, motherfucker, I just said I'm trying. I just said that I'm fucking working and I'm trying to get better.
Mhm.
Eat a dick, right? Like, you're bringing me right back to fucking being pissed off.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You know, and sometimes you don't know what the right thing is to do. Like, okay, I didn't think about that at the time. I'm just telling you right now, I feel like a piece of crap. Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't think that I should run upstairs. And if I would have ran upstairs, I would have missed my flight. So maybe I'll send them a freaking Christmas card. I don't know. But
Right.
yeah, no, I get it. No, it's all good. It's like you said, it's a skill. And a skill is something you can work on and
Right.
get better at. And it takes time. And I almost feel like too, It's been a while since I completely lost my shit, but the last time I did, I had such an emotional hangover from it and beat myself up so bad. And I think I want to say it was with a team member, and that is like the worst time because the last thing I want is them to have the lack of respect and to have to go and make an amends to somebody that you're supposed to be leading. I mean,
It feels like the remorse after a drunk, doesn't it?
yes, totally. Almost feels like a relapse. I wanted to say that.
Yep.
And that's what I say to myself. Literally is what I say. I relapsed. That is old behavior. There's many different ways that I could have handled that situation. And unfortunately, I think I'm just not smart enough. And my first reaction is rage because I'm not intelligent enough to come up with the words to get my point across that this is messed up. So right away, I want to go to rage and let them know how wrong they are. And usually whatever they did, my behavior outweighs what they did anyhow. And that's the worst part of it. I've done that so many times over the years where it's like, I think I've gotten better, and I can almost feel it coming. Like I can make any situation as good as I want or make it any worse that I want. And sometimes, unfortunately, I elect to make situations a lot worse than what they have to be. And it just creates a lot of pain for myself, most importantly. Not that, that the other people that are involved aren't important, but I'm really about mental health and physical health. And when I get that way, it really messes up my mental. And there's so many other important things that I need to be focused on, not licking my wounds and making amends to other people when there's so many other positive things going on in my life. But yet there was something that usually I elected that I was avoiding to take care of that was eating at me to begin with. And then usually I will take it out. There will be something that happens that I end up taking my external emotions from something that had nothing to do with that situation. I'll usually take it out on somebody else. And this is the thing somebody told me a long time ago. If there's something wrong, there's something wrong with me. If I'm allowing exterior situations to affect my interior, then there's something wrong with me.
It's always us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always us. We always got to figure that out. By the way, I was just looking right here to my left, right, whatever the fuck that is. How excited are you for that?
What is that back there?
What is that?
Oh, that is exhale. I'm super excited about that.
How excited are you for that? I'm fucking stoked. Like, this is going to be better than the first two.
No, I'm each year I get more and more excited about it. I truly do. Cause I know what to expect when it comes to scuba diving. Outside of that, I really don't know what to expect because I never know what you have in mind. But every year you've done it so far, I've gotten more and more out of it. And I'm actually applying a lot of the stuff that I learned on the last trip with you guys. We're actually trying to come up with, I'm calling it a 30-day reset challenge. And there's breathing involved in it. And of course, I got that from Dr. Gary when he measured us on his little machine and the age that I am before I get on the machine and do my breathing. And then he measures how old I am then. Now I don't explain all of that, but one of the challenges in it is a 2-minute breathing throughout the course of the day. When you start feeling overwhelmed, what are you doing to move the needle and certain things that I'm adding to this challenge. I don't want it to be any more than 8 things, kind of like Hunter's Fearless 44, like his daily 8s and stuff like that. But most of it is mental. Now there's a diet and exercise and stuff like that involved, but most of it has to do with mental stuff, stretching, doing a 2-minute reset throughout the course of the day of just getting up and moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're someone like me that sits at a desk a lot, I need to get up and just move. And I started doing these core exercises and stretches, and literally it takes approximately 2 minutes to strengthen my core and to stretch my back in the position that it should be stretched to try to help save my L4 and L5. I'm in the process of. So that's kind of where some of this came from, because the way that I sit is affecting my back. So I got to get up and do a 2-minute reset. I'm calling it a 2-minute reset. You lean back, and then the other one's like the Cobra stretch. You get on your belly. It's like you can do that anywhere. I don't care if you're at an airport, in your office, like it doesn't matter. Like you can do that anywhere. So anyhow, we're kind of scrubbing it and making sure it's very self-explanatory of the daily 8s that we're proposing, to challenge people to do on a day-to-day basis. But what's cool about this, just like the Fearless 44, you're going to want to do this once this challenge is over. And a lot of it has to do with input and output. So what are you inputting? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What shit are you listening to? What shit are you not learning? What shit are you not reading? So one of the challenges is to remove an input, a bad input, whether it's watching news at night while you're laying in bed, remove that and start, and then you got to replace it with one good input. So more will be revealed.
I did that. I used to watch TV every night before I go to bed, laying in bed. I have a fucking 90-inch TV in my bedroom, like an asshole. Right. And I used to watch TV every single night before I went to bed. When I was younger, like it used to be the thing that put me to sleep even. Absolutely. Right. And I changed that to where during the day, if I'm reading, I'll read like personal development, growth stuff like during the day, but not at night. So at night, I've started a new thing where I'm only reading fiction at night. But I'm still reading, I'm still engaging my brain and doing things. But instead of watching TV, I read, and I read with the lights out and a Kindle, so that I have no blue light whatsoever in the room. And it's just that light. It's just the Kindle light. So then my eyes can actually get tired and I'll actually fall asleep, because if you have blue light on, like from or yellow light, white light from your lamp or from your TV or whatever, it makes it really hard to get to sleep. And like, I know how much sleep I need to be able to perform in a day, right? Like I have to have, if I get less than 7 hours, I'm fucked. Like my day is just ruined if I get less than 7 hours. I have to get 7.5, 8 hours of sleep every night. And if I read, it's been a game changer. I literally haven't watched TV in my bedroom for a year. Like I literally haven't. It's been crazy. And it's been like fun. It's like I'm still watching TV, but I'm reading.
Yeah. No, I love
You know
that.
what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
just
because
weird.
your imagination goes wild as you're reading.
Yes.
You're putting yourself in that place or whatever. Yeah. No, I love it. Love that idea. Now, I know you're married, and I'm assuming that you guys sleep in the same room. Now, is your wife also reading something? Like, what is she doing when you're doing this?
Not at night. She reads during the day, but not at night. At night, I usually do it when she's going to sleep. She's one of those people, though, they can just go to fucking sleep. Okay. And I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, because my head is fucking just like spinning with ideas and like, what's the new business idea I'm going to do? And like, how many jobs or blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like my brain is fucking always on. So like she turns off the light and she's going to sleep, but she doesn't watch TV either at night. So yeah.
Well, and I asked that personally for myself, because I know Jan and I, we call it slumber. We slumber every night together. We have a slumber party. And, and I'm just, and we've talked about like, are we going to read? How are we going to like, cause there could be 12, 14, 16 hours in the day that I don't see her or talk to her. Just it depends on where I'm at, what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm across the country or shit. Even here in York, I'm literally 6 minutes from my house right now. I may not talk to her. So even if I'm dipping in and out of the house during the day, we're not like communicating. You know, so that time when we decide to go to bed is like the time that we kind of like, she'll make popcorn or something and we'll watch Netflix or something like that. And I know that's not the healthiest thing to do, but it's been very healthy for our relationship. You know what I mean? So we kind of use that as the trade-off, like, but this is good for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's important too. I mean, not only am I working on myself, but I'm working on myself to better our relationship at home. But I do want to read more at night, because I know blue light, scrolling Facebook, TikTok, whatever is not conducive to anything. And usually, all of that anxiety, I tend to wake up with, a lot of people are like, I just can't put my finger on why I wake up in such a bad mood every day. Well, it's your input.
Yeah.
It's what you're inputting, is what a lot of times, like if there's an empty bag of chips next to your bed, right away, subconsciously, unconsciously, you see that you already, your self-esteem is coming down. Now, if you see an empty bottle, 32 ounces of smart water next to your bed, you're already going to be like, yes, you just kind of feel, at least for me, these are things. And these are the things I'm talking about during this challenge, for examples, like put the chips away and cut an apple because you still get that crunch and whatever. So yeah, no, this is all things that, again, that's us working on ourselves, and identifying things about ourselves. And it's called self-mastery, right? Like, you got to read because your mind won't shut down, but your book takes you in your book, you dive into your book and it takes you to whatever you're reading. And I was also told a long time ago by a very smart gentleman who was the CFO at one of our local distributors here. He said, "What are you reading?" He always asked people what they're reading. And I thought that was a very smart question to ask somebody. Like, what are you reading? Who are you following right now? And I was telling him, Simon Sinek, I was just going down and I thought, like, yeah, I got a great answer to this.
I got great answers for this guy.
Yeah, right. But he was like, but what non-fictional stuff are you reading? I was like, or fictional stuff. What fictional stuff are you reading? And I was like, nothing. I'm not. He's like, you need to start. You step away from that.
Really? Did he really?
He said, step away from the non-fictional stuff and self-development stuff. And he said, you start reading, fictional stuff like stories and stuff. James Patterson, whatever, whoever, what I mean? But he highly recommended to do that because, like you said, it keeps your mind sharp by just reading, and sometimes you just got to shut that stuff off because you can get burnout on personal development stuff.
100%.
So it kind of just disconnects you while you're still exercising your brain.
Yep.
But it's taking you to a different place to just shut, because I'm personally developing myself to be a better business owner, to be a better leader, to be a better husband, to be a better father. And it's like, that shit can get tiring. Like, shut that shit off. You think you're doing yourself good, but really you're just harming yourself because you never shut that shit off, because that's my job today, is to work on all those things.
Yep.
That just wore me out even thinking about it.
That's hilarious. Which is why, with the whole reading thing too, because we have to do both, right? And it's why I'm so passionate about, like, in CCM, having us read a book together, right? And this new one that we're reading this month, Happiness Advantage, dude, you haven't read that yet, right? Like, before I brought it to the group.
No,
dude, it's so fucking good. A guy named Jake Bennington. Do you know Jake? He used to work with Sam. He does stuff with Win the Storm with Josie and those.
Exactly who.
So Jake, I met Jake years ago at an event with Sam, and he was the one that introduced me to that book. And I mean, this had to be 7 years ago. And that book, like, it literally, like, changed how I operate on a daily basis. Like, as far as, like, taking ownership of your own mental status, right, in life. And shoot, the premise of the book is that we have to actually make the choice to be happy or be content or be whatever the word is that you want to use. It's not a matter of, if I do this thing, then I can be happy, right? And then it gives examples of when if you go into a meeting, let's say you have a big board meeting, whatever it is, right? And you've got a big meeting. If you go in there and they can feel that you need this to be okay, you're never going to fucking close it. Right. But if you go in there and you're like, oh, this guy is cool no matter what fucking happens, right? It completely changes the dynamic of the relationship that you're building with whoever you're building it with, because people want to be around people that are happy and content. They don't want to be around miserable fucking pricks that are looking for the thing that's going to make them happy, because they think that, well, if this guy does this thing for me, then I'll be okay. So can you make me happy, Ty? Can you do the thing that I need you to do so that I'm all right? Can you invest into my company? Because if you do, and then I have that money, then I'll be happy. Right. Like, and you on the other side going, No, I'm not the fucking solution to your problem. Like, figure out your fucking own solution first. And then I want to be partners with somebody that's already got their shit figured out and they're already okay.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's a real, I'm really, really excited about
Sure.
reading that book together with you and the guys in the group. That's going to
Yeah,
be
I love
fun.
that. I love that. You know, I definitely, do you want to talk about, CCM a little bit? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what,
It's not why I brought it up,
I
but
know that. I know that, but it's very interesting and it's been life changing for me. So it's special. So let's talk about what it is and then why you started it, why you thought you wanted to start it.
yeah. So somebody asked me that the other day, and it's interesting because, I started, doing some keynotes and speaking and whatever, and I'd get done and people come off the stage and be like, "Hey, how do we work together?" And I'm like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Like, I'm like, I own a roofing company. I'm like, if you want to come fucking sell roofs for me, we can work together. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you mean. They're like, no, like, how do we work together? Like, can you consult or can you this or you that? And I'm like, I don't have a business that does that. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. But I had enough people that came and asked me. And I was like, I need to figure something out. And when we were in another group together, we used to have these accountability calls, and the premise and the idea behind it was fantastic. But the problem is that nobody fucking ran them. So there was no leadership inside of the group to be able to make sure that we were moving on the same path and the same trajectory of getting the accountability that we needed and doing the things together that we needed to do to be able to get better. And so I ended up like doing that. And I'm like, dude, I got a fucking business to run too. And I got people that rely on me. Like, if I'm going to input this much time and this much effort into this, like, not to sound like an asshole, but like, I got to be compensated at some fucking point for my time. Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't I just make a group, like a nice intimate group of high level dudes that want to have that accountability and want to do things together that helps them grow. And so that was where CCM culture movement came from. Because my original keynote was about how to create a cult like following inside of your company. Right. And so it was like cult culture thing. I was like, well, I guess I'll just call it cult culture movement. And I've thought about changing the name over the last couple of years, but it's like CCM has this ring to it, right? That I kind of like, and I just kind of want to keep it there. But the group that we've made, and this is one of the first times that I've even really talked about it, right? Like, I don't run fucking ads, and I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going out there and trying to make this giant business out of it. Right. And it's turned into opportunities for me to consult with other companies and to help people, business owners that are trying to come up and grow, to like help them implement different systems and processes inside of their company. Cause I really do, like, I love fucking doing that. Right. But I'm not going to come out and like run a fucking blitz ad campaign that says, come hire Eric to help. You know what I mean? Like, if you're attraction rather than promotion, right? Like, I guess I'm on the AA kick with that, but we've built this really cool group of guys, and there's room for a few more, right? But I'm never going to try and build it into 100 people or anything like that. I want this close knit community of people that want to help each other. And recently we started really getting into the nitty gritty of accountability and finding out what it is right now that you're fucking working on, which you missed the fucking call yesterday, but we're getting down to the nitty gritty of like, hey, what is it right now that you're working on that you need everybody in this group to hold your fucking balls to the fire and check in with you every week and be like, hey, asshole, are you doing this? Right. And it was interesting because an example of that was, I had brought it up, not this call that you weren't on, but the call before that, where we started making those lists together. Right. And mine was this thing that I was doing. And one of our group members, Dan Lee, I flew out to Pinehurst and went golfing with Dan. He invited me to this event out in Pinehurst to go play golf. And we were sitting there eating lunch, looking at the 18th green of Pinehurst number 2. And he looked at me and he goes, hey, how's that thing going? And I had to sit there and look at him and go, fuck, I haven't done shit. I was like, I haven't done anything. Right. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start budgeting the time that I need to be able to hit this deadline. But the other thing that was interesting is that I go home and I started doing that. And then all of a sudden, this other thing that I decided that I really wanted to do came onto my plate. And I was like, we've also all read the book, The One Thing. And it's like, if we spread ourselves too thin and we don't focus on the thing that we need to accomplish, nothing's going to get fucking accomplished, right? Because we're putting 20% here, 20% there. And all of a sudden, 3 years later, it's like, look at all this half done shit that I have. And so I was like, no, this is the thing. And so on the call on Tuesday, I came to the group and I said, hey, look, Dan called me out. I acknowledged I did not work on this thing that I said I was going to. However, I'm a grown up. I can change my mind. And I am now changing what it is that I'm doing, that I'm putting my mind to right now. And now this is the new thing. Now everybody in this group can hold me accountable. Because again, selfishly, like, this group is just as much for me as it is for everybody else, right? Because like everybody in there is holding me accountable to shit that I have to do as well, right? I just bring stuff and bring content and make sure that the conversation goes the way that it needs to go. But we've been doing this now for what? Because you started right away with us.
At least over a year, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think 2. I think it's been 2 years, right? Like we've been doing this for 2 years. And I bet anybody watching this is like, I don't know what the fuck Eric's talking about, right? Like, because I haven't went public with it very much, and I probably should, but I just haven't. But I love our group. I'm super passionate about it, and I'm just super glad that you're a part of it. Oh no, why can't I hear you?
For some reason,
There you are. You're back.
Yeah,
You're
my
back.
my mic was muting. I noticed that the other day too. I was on a Google Meet. For some reason, my mic kept muting. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, what's going on there? But shit, there were so many questions I wanted to ask you. I forgot because I wanted to really listen to what you're saying. But the first thing that I really liked about the call that we were on, it wasn't just business owners, but it was all high performing people. It was the integrators. It was, so we're getting ideas because it is like group therapy to a certain extent. You know,
Yeah.
It's not just you running the group. It is us all giving feedback to whoever needs the feedback, and
all different industries.
yeah, all different industries, not just the roofing industry. So we're getting different perspectives from people, and you know, being a part of it with you. And you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, you live so far away because you know, you're the sum of, whether you know that or not. And I probably told you that before, but you are the sum of me. You know, they say if you hang out with 5 idiots, you're going to be the 6th idiot, and you're one of those idiots that I elected to hang out with. You know what I mean? And because you've pushed me places that other people haven't or can't or won't. And the diving experience, and even before that, but that was the biggest life altering thing. And I needed that at that particular time of my life to overcome, because I've gotten comfortable being uncomfortable, but there was a certain comfortability there that
Yes.
I have reached. Do you know what I mean? But then there's that other gear, like we went up 10 steps with that first experience at the Exhale event. And, you know, and there was work involved with that. Like I had to go to a swimming pool and get certified, and then do an open water certification, which is the worst part of it, because you're doing all the scary shit. You're not enjoying yourself. Like rip your mask off, turn your tank off, all these weird, crazy things that you do 50 feet underwater is not comfortable at all. And I needed that. And I refer back to that. So I think it was last week I was talking about on the podcast, where it's like, if I'm going through something, reflect back on something that you went through that was, you know, troubling or uncomfortable, and remember how you got through that and how much better you were for that. And I refer back to that moment of diving for the very first time and doing that really uncomfortable stuff a lot. I reflect on that a lot when something comes up and it's like, oh man, I don't know if I can do it. I think back to the first time I went diving, where it was like, fuck, man, if I did that, there's nothing that I can accomplish anything, like literally anything, because that goes against everything. Going underwater, not holding your breath, breathing through your mouth, like everything.
And the real parallel to that, though, for those of you, for the people that weren't there to watch you and to witness it, is not only the fact that you did it, right? But remember, the first dive that you did, you were a fucking kicking panicky Pete, right? I mean, you were fucking all over the goddamn place, right? By the end of that trip, you are a completely different person and you're a completely different diver, right? And here's something that I'll tell you is like, it's been a year for you, right? Like since you dove until, before we get back in the water again for you in April. And obviously I go more often than everybody else does, right? But when you get back in that water, that first dive is going to be super fucking uncomfortable again, right? Because it doesn't all just fucking come back. A lot of it does. But like that first dive, you're like, ooh, fuck, is this working? Did I check this? Did I fucking do that? Did I, right? But then after you get that first one under your belt and like all of that parallels into life so much, right? It's like, you just have to have repetition, right? The more you fucking do something, the better you get at it and the easier it becomes. And then you hit that fucking plateau of you were here and you thought this was super fucking uncomfortable, right? This isn't uncomfortable anymore. This is normal, right? So now how the fuck do we get here? Now we got to fucking break through this threshold of uncomfortable because it's not uncomfortable anymore. This is just normal. This is what the fuck Ty and Eric do. Now how do we fucking go here? What's the next goddamn step, right? And figuring that out together, right? To your point of like, who do you have around you, right? Because you got to have people that you're talking to going, dude, what's next? Because we did these fucking things and I've pushed my fucking limits, but like, there's got to be more, right? Because if I'm tapped out, then fucking dig my hole.
Seriously.
And I ain't ready to dig my fucking hole yet.
Yeah, me neither. Not even close. And thank you for creating that. Thank you for having the vision, for that. And like you said, it parallels to so many things in life, just the struggles, the learning curve and getting comfortable with, and walking through that fear. That was probably the biggest thing. Like you said, I was a floundering, blubbering, fearful,
You're just scared. Yeah. You're just scared. Right. I mean, which is expected.
Non-amphibious creature in the water at the time. And with having you guys there and watching how you kind of went through the water and realizing, and it's so fitting for the retreat to be called Exhale. And that's all I really needed to do the whole time.
Yes.
And having faith in the equipment, right? Because that's trust is a whole other thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A part of life too is being able to trust yourself, trust the equipment, trust the process, trust, and
trust even if the equipment does fail, that you have the training to be able to react and that somebody's near you and like all isn't going to end. You're not going to die. You fucking knock on somebody, you hold your breath for a minute and say, give me your fucking rag. You know what I mean? Like, but having that training and that confidence to know that it's okay.
Yeah.
Right. Is the next step.
Absolutely. So it's so, I don't even know the word, metaphorically, the whole experience is just, unless you've experienced it, you can't, it's really hard to explain. And the whole yoga, we did yoga last year in the morning. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I realized how stiff my hips were, and how important it is not to have stiff hips, especially with my new golfing adventure that I'm on here lately. It's all about keeping the hips loose, and at least that helps in lower back pain and shit like that. Going into the stretch thing that I was talking about, the 2-minute reset earlier, but like I've learned those things from you and being on these trips and surrounding myself around like people like you. And I wouldn't do that just sitting in my office all day long, stressing over shit and stuff that I have no control over, and and coming up with solutions and bouncing ideas off you and those guys. And Tim Brown was my dive partner, and we were both. I saw how scared he was, and it was like, you know what, I got to not act as scared, even though I'm trembling inside, and just let him know, like, look, we're going through this together. And then he would pep talk me sometimes too. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to hide the fear when your eyes are this big underwater and you got goggles on that I think actually magnify your eyes a little bit. So you're like, at least I could only imagine what I looked like down there. And I saw some of the footage, and
every time I looked in your eyes, I was like, is he okay?
I was like this. And it's like, no wonder I'm struggling, but I'm really surprised it didn't go through the air as oxygen as fast. I was pretty good on that. So
you were right. You were right the first time, Ty. The air.
Yeah. The air.
You don't breathe oxygen. You breathe air.
Yes. Yeah. I knew it was one or the other. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be due by that time. I'll be due. I'm due now for a good dive and a retreat.
Yeah, we're going down for Christmas. So yeah.
Very
Oh, and I'm going to the Philippines. I'm going to dive over there too in
nice.
December. Yeah. So the beginning of December, I'm going to the Philippines to visit my team with SMA. And then at the end of the month, we're going down to Cayman for Christmas. And then we'll be back with you guys in April. And then we're going back again in June for our niece's graduation. So I'm going to get a lot of fucking diving in this year.
That's good. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
I got a snorkel and I got fins. Not that I need the snorkel, but it came with I got to bring my own goggles this year.
Did you get a good set?
Yeah, I got a good set of goggles and flippers. So I got to throw that stuff in my bag.
Yeah. It'll be good. I'm excited about it. The one thing I had mentioned to you, because I know we're getting close on time here, but the one thing that I wanted to bring up and tell a story about was this cool opportunity that I have that's happening next week. And I'm not telling the story to pat myself on the back by any fucking stretch of the imagination, right? The purpose of the story is to show people that if you fuck up in your life, like if you do the right shit, there can be redemption, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's why I'm bringing Natalie and I'm bringing Tegan with me to this deal, because like it's literally the only reason I'm doing it. But as everybody knows, like I was sentenced a little over 15 years ago for my felony DUI, and it hasn't affected my life considerably because I'm very fortunate in the fact that I own my own company and I don't fucking report to anybody and I don't have to ask for a fucking job. Like, you know what I mean? So like, it's not that big of a deal. Now, that being said, I did not have a driver's license for 15 years, right? That sucked. I had an interlock on my truck for 15 fucking years from when I was 30 until I was 45, which is insane, right? I couldn't rent a car. I can rent cars now, which is pretty cool. But what I can't do, like a normal citizen, I can't go hunting, right?
Oh, wow.
I can't go hunting with my friends because I can't own guns, right? I'm a fucking felon. And so like 2.5 years ago, I started the process of filing an application to get a pardon from the governor to get my felony expunged. And it's a hell of a process, by the way, right? I mean, you got to get letters of recommendation, you got to get like all this shit, right? To even get the hearing. And it took 2 years just to get the hearing.
Wow.
Right. So like I gave all of this shit 2 years ago. They finally emailed me and said, your hearing date is November 13th. Right. So next week I've got a hearing date and I'm going to go in front of the governor, the attorney general, and the secretary of state of Nebraska to get an opportunity to get my felony expunged and to get my rights back.
Wow.
Right. As a normal human. And what's interesting about that is when all of this happened 15 years ago, right? I mean, I was obviously just a giant cesspool, fucking garbage human being, pile of shit. Who would want to associate with me other than giant garbage piles of shit, right? As well, right? Because who you surround yourself with, right? Like good people aren't going to want to hang out with me. And I got the opportunity last year to play golf with the former attorney general of Nebraska. And then he and I became buddies. And he called me yesterday and was like, just wanted you to know, I put in a good word for you with the governor and the AG. And he goes, and just so you know, he goes, I've never done that before, ever in my life. And I told him on the phone, and I was super genuine about this. I was like, man, no matter what happens, like, I'm fine. You know, like I'm fine if I lose, like it's not going to change my life one way or another. Like I'm doing pretty well. Right? Like I don't have shit to bitch about at all. But have you ever been in a moment where I talked about this in the Roofers and Recovery meeting the other night, but have you ever had a moment where like you had this overwhelming feeling of gratitude just come over your body and like you can feel it, like it tingles and you're like, what the fuck? And like it's not like you're going to cry, but it's like, just get that emotion is there, right? And I told him, I was like, man, I'm like, it's hard to put into words what I'm feeling right now. I'm like, but the fact that somebody with status
Yeah.
in life would have this conversation with me right now, right? Because they see that I've changed. They see that I'm a different human. They see that my goal in life is to help other people and not hurt people anymore, right? And that they would go out on a limb and put their name behind my name.
Yeah.
It just proves like that shit can change, right? No matter what the fuck you're doing, it means there's time involved, and it means there's work involved, and it means that there's struggle involved, and like you're going to be really fucking uncomfortable, and you're not probably going to enjoy the process of what it takes to get there, right? But if you're willing to sacrifice some time and some fucking ego, that's the big one, right? Because we all want everything right fucking now. But if you're willing to sacrifice that time and that ego and the pain that's associated with going through all of that, that there is a true opportunity to come through as a different human, and have the people that you're surrounding yourself with be like that, right? That are willing to go out on a limb for you, to say good things about you, about this person that was literally hiding coke in their truck. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? It's just, the level of gratitude that I have to, and again, I haven't even won my hearing, right? Like I might fucking lose it. Right. And again, if that happens, it's fine. I can't control it. Right. Like I'll say what I can say, and I'll do what I can do. And if I get it, great. Sure hope I do, because it's going to be really embarrassing if my daughter's sitting in the audience fucking watching and dad loses. But like, it's not going to change my life. It's not going to change how I operate my life. It's not going to change the fact that I'm still going to try and help people, and I'm still going to continue down this journey and this path that I'm on. But it's cool to be able to reflect. It's cool to be able to reflect and see that, and see where we are now, and the cool shit that like you and I get to do together because of the journey that we both fucking lived, right? And that we don't have to be those people anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's really, for lack of a better word, that's really fucking cool. And we're really fucking fortunate. And I think that sometimes we forget how lucky, and I don't even like the word lucky, because like there was work involved, right? Like it's not all luck, right? But we are very, very lucky and fortunate to be where we are today. And there's a lot of people out there I know that are watching this that are in the middle of that, right? They're not on the other side of that, right? And they have to, and there was somebody on the meeting the other night call that's in the fucking middle of that. And it's like, man, you have to sacrifice right now so that you can have the shit that you want to have. And you have to have the hope and the belief that if you do the things that you have to do, that you need to do, and you're okay with eating a little bit of shit for a while, that all of those things can go away and all of the good things can come. Right. And I don't know, it's just, and maybe it's just getting older and I'm turning into a pussy, but I love that. And I wanted to be able to share that with you because of the path that we both have lived.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing story. And, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but you know the rest of it. And it's to have the strength and the courage and not have fear hold you back to want to walk that path and to accomplish that. And, it started with you, and he saw something in you, or else he wouldn't have co-signed for you. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And I think a lot of times people see it in us before we see it in ourselves, and he sees that you're what you're about today, and that you want to help people and not hurt people. And sometimes it just takes time. Time takes time sometimes. And like you said, we want it right here and right now. And
Right.
This is one of the things that it has taken over 15 years, and you wouldn't have been able to do that at year 1 or even year 10. You had to wait the amount of time. And like you said,
it took as long as it took.
Yeah, right. It took, but by continuously doing the next right thing day after day after day, year over year, here you are. You got a guy that you're golfing with, and who would have ever thought that 15 years ago? Would you have ever thought that you would be golfing with someone with that type of stature? Right? No, never. right? And I experience shit like this all the time. I really do. The only thing that I wish, and Vic and I have talked about this, that sense of gratitude that you were experiencing and have felt when you were on that call with that guy, I wish that I could feel that more often, and not.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be as impactful.
No, it wouldn't. But I remember when I walked out of jail that day, that sense of freedom that I had.
Yes.
Okay. And with nothing, I had a paper bag. Okay. With jail socks and probably bar soap. Maybe not. Maybe I gave it to somebody before I left. I don't know. But whatever was in that bag, right? And that feeling that I had, what happens to my gratitude some days? Like there I was not even that long ago. I mean, it was a long time ago, but it really wasn't a whole entire life.
I can still remember the gratitude I had when I got out of jail, went home, and I ate a meal that I chose to eat and took a shower when I chose to take it with
Yes.
a door that's shut. Right.
Yes.
Like I remember the gratitude that I had in that fucking moment of a meal that I chose and a shower when I chose to take it without any other dicks in the room.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, no. And it's like sometimes I can lose that. And I wish it was easier for me to remember that. Yeah, I can remember the day that I walked out and finally got to smoke a cigarette without hiding. Or whatever, or open. The biggest thing you want to know, it was kind of like you were saying, was to have a refrigerator that I could open at any time and pull anything I wanted to out of the refrigerator. Is still probably one of my biggest gratefulnesses that I'm able to do that today is to open up the refrigerator and essentially get water, fresh water, good water, and to be able to bathe in good fresh water by myself, is the other thing too. But it's just so funny that we had to go through that man, I don't know if I would be who I am today if I didn't experience all those things and be as grateful and as giving and as understanding. And
I know you wouldn't.
Empathetic.
Neither would I.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
No doubt.
No fucking way. Yeah. I've never met anybody that hasn't went through some shit like that has the same level of appreciation, gratitude, and wants to give back as much.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can't have good without evil. You can't have bad without good. You can't have, it's yin yang. Right. And if you don't know what shit is, you can't know what amazing is. Right. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't make sense. Right. Like if you've only been on this side of it, then how do you know how good it is? Mm-hmm. How do you know how to be appreciative of it if you haven't got your dick kicked in at some point in your life?
Totally. I agree. I
think everybody should have to go to jail for a week.
Yeah, no doubt. I think everybody should be a mason tender. Anybody that gets in the construction trade should be a mason tender for a month.
What is a mason tender?
Yeah, somebody that mixes the mud and throws all the up to
is that what that term is called?
Yeah, mason tender.
Yeah.
We used to
just work on a roof.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like that was one of the things I was going to implement in our company was that anybody that wants to be a sales guy has to go work a day on a crew.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I agree.
Just one day. Just one day.
Yeah. I think most students getting out of school should do that for summer.
100%. 100%. Yeah. But I can only affect the people that I have direct effect on. So I'm going to start doing it with all my sales guys. So anybody who wants to work for D&M, you're going to work a day on a roof, bitches.
But they would definitely gain respect for sure. There's no doubt about it. There's no
100%. 100%. Love this. Thanks for having me on, Ty.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. Seriously. Thank you. And I guess this is a good area for us to kind of wrap this up here a little bit. But thank you for coming on and listen. Eric has a podcast. Be authentic or get the F out. And the name of your book is shit. What's the name of your book?
Hang on.
Shut up and listen. Shut the F up and listen in parentheses more.
There you go.
Yeah. Was I right?
Shut the fuck up and listen more.
Yeah. So check him out. He's all over social media. He's got a great book. you know, and talks about all kinds of real stuff that most of us people go through on a day-to-day basis, but don't want to talk about, and has solutions in there as well. His podcast is amazing. He has amazing guests on the show. He asks really great questions, and his guests have amazing answers. So Eric, thank you always.
Before we close.
Yeah.
Did you read it yet?
Of course I have.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I like calling people out and they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Thank you. Love you, brother.
Yeah, love you too. Thank you for coming, and thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't liked, love, subscribe, please do that and give us a rating. So till next week, have a good day.